family, it's Pastor Lauren here, and today is our 2-year anniversary of Revive, and we're so thankful to God for just bringing this service into existence. And I can't believe it's been 2 years already, and God has really just done so much. I can't even begin to explain. So even though we can't gather in the chapel all together to celebrate, we're going to have a special video for you all with a time of reflection and a time of worship, a time of just hearing from each one of our core members, just reflections from what the Lord has done in the past 2 years, and also just some vision in where we're going in the future. And even though we would have loved to gather and celebrate in person, due to the rise in COVID cases, our pastoral staff has discerned to move church back online until further notice. And when I first heard that news, I was a little bummed, but as I was reflecting on God's goodness and God's character, He really brought me back into just reminding me how much He's allowed Revive to do during these past 2 years. So even though we weren't able to celebrate in person for a 2-year anniversary, we were able to have 42 online devotionals with just as many handouts. We've been able to have 35, believe it or not, online meetings, and we've been able to meet 5 times in person and 2 months in person before COVID. And so just looking back on all of those special memories, I wouldn't trade that for the world, because God really had a purpose, and His intentions were to really provide a space, a family-like space of authenticity, intentionality, belonging, and freedom during that time. Looking back, some of my favorite memories have to do with just being together. And as I was just looking back on my 2 years of calendars, one thing that really stood out was just time with our leaders. And it wasn't just our core leaders, but just thinking of times where we've had prayer and worship, just literally on our knees in the chapel, even before Revive service started. Those were really fun to just be able to connect with our leaders and pray and petition on behalf of what was yet to come and where the Holy Spirit was leading us. So we were able to do that at our most recent core retreat and at our most recent leaders worship time, and it was just super special to just laugh together, even cry together, even just be in this place of joy and thinking about the future together. Another fond memory that comes to mind in the past 2 years is when we met with our sister church, Westlight, and also when our sister church Venice came to one of our in-person services, and we had Pastor Cott speak, and it was just a wonderful time of collaboration and sharing the same heart of just aligning with God in just bringing the kingdom of heaven here onto earth, and also just continuing our series on becoming our true selves. And it really felt like camp. It really felt like we were able to just freely worship and just rekindle old friendships and meet new people. And it was just a really special feeling, which I'm super excited to do again in the future. So stay tuned. We have a lot of other collaborations with our sister churches in the mix and on the horizon. So we're so excited for that, and thankful for these bonds that surpass just our church, just our service. So we're really looking forward to that.
Hi Revive family, and happy 2-year anniversary. I can't believe it's been 2 years, and I think for hospitality and InReach team, I think the biggest blessing for me is just being able to work with such amazing people. And I just love working with my team, and I really couldn't do without them. And it wouldn't be the same. They just show God's love and welcome people into our church. And that's just such a great gift that they have. And so I just want to thank them. I'm grateful for everyone I've worked with in the past. So some of those people would be Kelly Wan, Mizuki now, and Nolan Yokogawa, Josh Spesser, James Mizuki, and even those who are currently helping me out and on our team right now, which would be Ali Takeda, Julie Nitani, Dennis Ogawa, and Mike Taguchi. And so I've been, just so blessed to work with all of those people. They just do such an amazing job. And yeah, they're just so great. And so I am super thankful for them, and being able to work with them and hang out with them in the beginning of Revive is just a great way to start the service and to start even my day at Revive. And so and I think the other thing too is just I'm super just blessed for everyone who participated in the Revive email extravaganza during our pandemic and kind of shut down. So that was in our email, and it was just kind of little challenges and games that I just had fun creating, and it was great to see people's responses. Thank you everyone who participated, and super thankful for just being able to connect and have fun even while we weren't able to meet in person. And so congrats to Susan, Lindsay, Joy, and Lauren, and everyone who's participated. And just thank you again for just bringing joy and so much life into my life. So I've just been super grateful to work with a bunch of amazing people and just have fun in all of it. And so just thank you to my team. It really wouldn't be the same without them. And so I'm just so blessed to be able to hang out with them, work with them, serve together, and just welcome people into Revive. It's just such a blessing to just see everyone's faces when they come in, and just get to hang out with some really cool people. So miss you guys, and happy 2-year anniversary, Revive.
Hey, Revive family, happy 2 years. Wow, it has gone by so quick since we first started, but the past 2 years have been full of just immense blessings and great memories and just so much growth. And I was tasked to think of my favorite memories, and that was so hard to just choose one, so I picked two. I have so many more, but I narrowed it down to two. So the first being just getting to know you guys and getting to know the people of Revive. I think when we first started, I honestly probably, outside of the core, I don't think I knew too many of you. And when I say know, I mean like have deeper conversations and just kind of know the ins and outs of your life, just beyond, hey, how you doing, and your name and stuff like that. So I was just, thinking back of the Zoom meetings and just more recently in-person meetings, just really finding out, like, for example, like Russ and Tammy, kind of finding out how they got started, and Mickey, what he likes to do in his free time, and so it's just been such a blessing because I've learned so much, and Lauren can attest to this. But after every meeting, we kind of look at each other, we'll talk and be like, "Wow, did you know that about that person?" Or, "Oh, that was shocking," in a good way. All good things, nothing um, negative. So it's just I feel like so close to you guys, and 2 years is, I guess, quite a bit of time to get to know each other. But I've just it's been just such a blessing. So getting to know you guys and just feeling close has been just one of my most favorite memories. And secondly, as the worship director, I gotta be a little biased, but I think the worship has just been awesome, and not anything that I've done. I've really haven't done much. I think just with the blessings of our musicians, and more specifically having Chelsea start, and I think yeah, I could say 1,000 things about Chelsea and how awesome she is, um, but yeah, she really leads with the Spirit, and I think we've gotten a great grasp of that. It's not the Chelsea show, it's not the Derek show. It's really um, relying on Holy Spirit. What do you want for tonight? What do you want to share? And Chelsea really leads by the Spirit, and I think that's just it's so great. So yeah, I think worship has just for me, um, you know, being the director, there's a lot of moving parts, but um, after every worship and revive, it's just so worth it and so filling, and it's worth every stressful moment, even though there are no stressful moments. So yeah, I think those would have to be my two favorite, I guess, memories or yeah, of the past 2 years, and here's to just so many more memories, so many new things that are going to happen. God um, just is a God of newness and new chapters, and there's a season for this and that. And so, whatever season you're in right now, I just pray over you and just blessings within. If it's a good season, if it's a hard season, that God will meet you and He'll either bring you out of it, or He's just meeting with you, and you're just um, dwelling with God right now. So, Revive family, just thank you for all your support and all your guys's just involvement with Revive. Just, it wouldn't be the same without each one of you. So, hope you guys just have a blessed day. Love you all, and I'll see you soon.
Hey, Revive family, it's Michael here. It's crazy to think that we are at Revive's 2-year anniversary. And believe it or not, when we launched in January of 2020, we basically had the whole year mapped out in terms of what we wanted to do, what series we wanted to go through, what topics to discuss, and even ideas about guest speakers. And then, of course, once the pandemic happened, we had to pivot. And so what that turned into was we would put out an online devotional led by one of the Revive core members or another Revive leader. And then we would gather for our online Zoom meetings where we would reflect on the devotional and just get to share with each other and live life together. Now in 2020, a lot of the devotionals were one-offs, whatever God put on that leader's heart to share for that week. And in 2021, we actually started going through series where we would explore a topic for an extended period of time. So just to recap some of what we went through in the beginning of the year, we had our Rhythms of Grace series where we talked about spiritual practices. We then had our Rebuilding series where we went through the book of Nehemiah and looked to identify with Nehemiah's journey of rebuilding the walls of Jerusalem and how that relates to us today. We then spent a few weeks talking about change and embracing change and learning to trust God through change. And that was, of course, in preparation for looking ahead to coming back in person, which happened in August. We started meeting once a month in person. And that's when we started our current series, which is going through the letter to the Ephesians in our series, Becoming Our True Selves. Now, I loved all the things that we got to talk about together as a community. But I think for all of us, we'd probably say that some of the richest times of Revive were not when we were listening to a particular teacher or a devotional, but it was in getting to share and live life together, especially in our online Zoom meetings together. And just one example of this is our rhythm would often be share a little bit about the devotional, and then we'd break up into small groups, breakout rooms. And so there was one time where Lauren put me with basically all the other men on the Revive Zoom that day. And even though I was technically supposed to be the leader of the group, I actually started sharing first. And really what that time became was just a time for the other men of Revive to bless me, to say words of encouragement, and really to help cast vision for my future. And it was just a really, really meaningful time. And I think for me, that's what Revival is all about, is a place, a space for us to come together and build each other up, and a place where everyone's voice matters. And so even though right now I know we're kind of on pause with our in-person meetings, just looking back at the past of how God has moved and spoken to us in Revive, I'm confident that no matter if we're in person or online, in large groups or small groups, that we will continue to have these divine encounters with God and hear Him speak to us through the teaching, but also through each other. So I look forward to experiencing more of that with you in 2022.
Hey Revive! So it has been a huge blessing being a part and also leading the prayer team here. And I think for me, a highlight from the year is actually being able to be back in person, and our prayer team meets beforehand to just come together to kind of have that community and also to pray for the night. And for me, that has been a huge blessing, because I think one really cool thing is that we are able to learn from each other and just our own life experiences, and being able to have that sense of connectedness with each other. And I think the second thing that is really neat is also being able to pray for Revive each night. And so what is really cool is, I think we usually will just ask, like, okay, God, what do you have for tonight? And we'll just sit in silence for a little bit and see if like any words or pictures come up. And it has been really neat to see how, different things that people get connect back to each other or connect back to what we're doing that night, even if, we don't really know what's happening for the night. So yeah, like for example, the night that we had Westlight join us, it was really neat because as we were praying for the night, we were all getting words that dealt with community and being connected to one another, that would be something special, and that out of that uh, sense of, I guess, a wider community or just being able to connect as sister churches, that something would kind of spark out of that and build community in a deeper way. And it was really neat to see how awesome and like special that night was. I think that level of trust and that level of, I guess, love that was there, that we could almost forget because we've been, not seeing each other for 2 years, having no camp for 2 years, but to feel, it was almost like people were experiencing and sensing God's presence in a deeper way, not only for themselves but also with each other. That's my hope, is that it could continue to also just be really simple. Like, it doesn't have to be really complicated and really difficult, but it could just be simply inviting God into our conversations and into, our daily lives in that space. Lastly, I just really want to show gratitude for those on the prayer team. And so I think as much as I lead it, I learned so much from them. And I am really grateful that, they have just really given up time and energy to be there and to come early, and to, on behalf of everyone who's coming that night, just ask God, like, what He has for us. So I just want to thank them by name. So thank you so much to Joy, to Rachel, to Tammy, to Julie, to Bob, and to Susan, my mom. And I'm just very grateful for this team. And I think more than just serving together, I'm grateful to grow deeper together and just have that space before to, where it's just us, and to be able to learn from one another and encourage each other, and I guess have support in that way. So thank you all for being on this team, and I am really excited to what God has in store, and looking forward to how not only we hope that more people will, be open to experiencing God through prayer, but also, that this could be something that grows really deep. And thank you for you all at Revive for being open to, experiencing God in this way. And we look forward to, what He has in store for us. We also made this short recap video, just kind of highlighting different things that we've done this year. So we hope you enjoy.
It's not alright, but I'm okay. Treat every day like it's Sunday. Yeah. Keep it light, lift my hands and pray. I could really use some sunshine. Yeah. I know I'm late, but I'm on my way. A little faith goes a long way. Still alive, gotta celebrate. I've been taking in the sunshine.
Treat every day like
Sunday morning. Yeah.
It's your love that
Keeps me going.
keeps me going. When there's breath in my lungs and I'm beating hard,
All I can be is grateful.
treat every day like
Sunday morning.
and not even a little rain can take the joy away.
And it's all because your love.
My soul is filled up.
And I'll never get enough.
So grateful for all that you've done. My soul is filled up.
And it's all because you love me.
Sunday morning, plan my day out. You made a way out. And thank you for your loving arms that reach me when I'm way out. And I know your plans are perfect. I was searching, now I worship. And when I'm feeling worthless, use your love as proof of purchase. I treat every day like I'm in heaven. In your presence, in your essence, they say count your blessings. Too many to guess it. I know everything I have in life is cause of you, yeah, yeah. Where else would I run if I don't run to you,
Every day
yeah.
like
Sunday morning.
Sunday morning. It's your love that keeps me going. Keeps me going. There's breath in my lungs and I'm feeling hard. All I can be is grateful. Every day like
Sunday morning.
not even a little rain can take the joy.
And it's all because your love.
My soul is filled up.
And I'll never get enough.
So
It's all because you love me.
And so now that you've heard from our amazing, incredible core team, I want us to be in a place of reflecting as well. So I'm going to take us through a time of reflection, and I want you to invite God into that process. So we're going to be taking a look at 2021 and also shooting for the future in 2022. So first question is, what were some standout events or people that were involved in 2021 for you? Second question, what were some themes or lessons that you learned from the past year? For me, it was definitely themes of waiting on God and themes of His faithfulness even through disappointment. Third question is, what are some hopes, goals and dreams of yours in 2022? What does it look like to dream big and align your hearts with God? Reimagine what your reality could look like when you partner with Him, when you gain vision from the Holy Spirit. And lastly, list some characteristic traits of God. And this could be from the past year, it could be from this year, but just at the top of my head, I was just thinking that, wow, our God is faithful. And just like in the Hebrews 13 verse, our God will never leave us. He is so ever present with us. He is our Emmanuel, God with us. And I think over the course of this past few years especially, I've just been so thankful for God's presence. I pray that you can carve out a little bit more time to just write a thank you letter to the Lord. Tell Him how thankful you are for all that He's done in the past year, all that He's done in your life. And as you realign your hearts with Him, I pray that in 2022, we can have this time where we reimagine what our reality can look like when we partner with Him, that we would be moving so in sync together that it would just be this divine partnership that Satan cannot touch. And when we do that, I know it's just going to be so incredible, and the synergy is going to be so amazing as we live in intentionality, authenticity, belonging, and freedom. And as we walk in His freedom, I'm just so excited to continue this journey. Thank you for all the prayers, support, and love over the past 2 years. You are what makes Revive what it is, and we are so thankful for you. From the bottom of my heart, thank you, thank you, thank you for being a part of our family. And we're so excited to see where God takes us into the new year. So blessings and peace, Revive family. So thankful for you. Praying breakthrough and God's provision and more joy upon you and your family. And we can't wait to see you this Saturday online on Zoom at 2 p.m. So thank you so much for joining us. Love you so much, Revive family. Take care and have a wonderful week.